Alrighty, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hunted Podcast. If you're listening to this, make sure you go back and go listen to some of our other episodes. Also go through, let us know that you like what you're hearing, give us a 5-star rating, all that good stuff. That really helps us out. If you also want to see what Levi and I are up to, you can go through and follow us on Facebook at The Hunted Podcast. We're on Instagram at _hunted_podcast. And on YouTube, we are at The Hunted Podcast. So go check those out. We do our absolute best to kind of keep you guys in the loop of kind of what we got going on. But we both have extremely busy lives, it seems like sometimes, with work and just families and everything else in general, but we try to do what we can to keep you guys on what's going on with us. So make sure you go check at least one of those out. I know for our YouTube thing, we're going to try to start picking up some stuff with that. We've both definitely been slacking on that side. I think it's more so the weather's just been absolute garbage where we're at, so we haven't really been out and about doing that, but we'll definitely get into that stuff. So we're going to jump on into this part. We're going to say thank you to our sponsors. We got, as always, Rec Broadheads. If you haven't checked them or know what they're about, go check them out. Man, they got 2 blades, 4 blades, expandables. Man, they're extremely interested. You can, with the 2 blades and the expandables, you can interchange the broadheads or the blades in the broadheads, and you kind of get a 2-for-1, which is awesome. Make sure you go check them out. We got Wild Oak Whitetails Buck Lure. Corey does a great job with making sure that his does and bucks and everything else are all, making sure that it's 1 deer to 1 bottle. He's always out there, grinding it out and getting all that good stuff done. We got Dominant Strands Bowstrings. Lewis, he's been busy. He was all out with the old archery shows and everything like that, running around out and about, and I see that he's finally getting some stuff all ready to go at his shop, doing some looks like he's doing some selling some reefer bows, I guess is the best way I kind of describe it. He's going through and doing that, so make sure you go check him out. Or if you just have any basic string questions, man, he is a plethora of knowledge. He will hook you up. And then we got ECW hunting calls. Levi and I have been using those so far with turkey season right now, and I've got some reactions from them. The turkeys don't want to come in good enough, but Levi's actually had some success using them. We're going to go over that today, talk about how he's good and I suck when it comes to turkey hunting so far. And then we got Marath Welding. Pretty much say the same thing with him, man. You need something metal on metal welded together, man. That he can get out there and do it for you. He'll crawl under stuff, get up in a boom, in a lift, crane, whatever you need him to do. He will put metal to metal for you, but just make sure if you go through and you're going to get in contact with him, you need to do it ASAP. We're going to have planting season here coming real quick, and he's already been out in the fields, doing his thing, chasing that dollar. And then National Land Realty, they went through and they let Levi get on the team, get on the board and all that good stuff. And he's been out, doing his thing with that. Have you sold any? You haven't sold any properties yet, but you do have some for sale, right?
Not yet. They're getting ready to hit the market here.
Okay, soon. I remember you said that we had some that were coming. So anything, looking into the realty side, just go ahead and get a hold of Levi, get a hold of them. It'd be great. Levi does nothing but talk great things about them. So yeah, make sure you go and follow them too. Then Nature Made Jewelry, same thing as always. Levi and his wife Katie go through and they make special necklaces, bracelets, rings, any of everything like this. It's a real kind of, I guess, a fancy country-ish style. That's about the best way I can describe it to you. So make sure you go check them out and let them know what you want, and they'll go through and get that out to you as quick as they can. And even though it's not on a sponsor thing, I think it'd be a good time for us to kind of talk about the turkey calls that you're going through and getting made.
Yeah, so, they've been working great.
Yeah.
We had great luck with them, definitely first season and into second season, and just I cannot believe how well they've been working, how the birds have responded to them. So.
Yeah. So if you're interested in something like that, you can go ahead and hit us up on there, and we'll do our absolute best to get them to you in as quickest manner as we can. I'm not going to lie, I don't know all the different cuts and everything like that, so that's Levi's domain, so we would pass that on to him. He'd get you all hooked up. I mean, we're about midway through turkey season here on our side of Illinois, so if you want one, get a hold of us and we'll get it to you ASAP. So with all that being said, I'll say it one more time. If you haven't checked out any of our sponsors, make sure you go through, check them out, let them know that you found them through us. We greatly appreciate that. It helps, keep us good with our sponsors. So one more thing onto this stuff, last but definitely not least, we're going to do our first responder shout out. So this one's going to go through, I don't know this gentleman, but he was a deputy sheriff in a county where I used to live up in Minnesota, up in Polk County. So, yeah, that kind of hit home when I saw some of my friends up there, say he lost his life. I believe it was in a domestic situation. And, yeah, so just a few days ago, he passed away. So this one is for Deputy Josh Owen from Polk County. We both want to say to your family, to your friends, if any of them hear this in any way, shape, or form, that we are truly sorry. It's choking me up a little bit right now. It's a terrible, terrible deal. So we're just going to give a moment of silence for Deputy Josh Owen. Okay. Once again, anybody that's friends or family of Deputy Josh Owen who had his end of watch on April 15th, we are truly sorry. So, boy, I like doing those to give thanks and stuff, but once it hits home a little bit, it kind of gets my feelers a little bit.
Oh yeah, it hits you in the feels.
Yes, it does.
We definitely appreciate his service.
Yes, absolutely. Controlling the absolute chaos that you and I have talked about quite a bit. So, okay, time to focus up. Getting back on to what we need to do here. So, this episode, I think we're just going to go through and kind of give everybody just kind of a real quick recap, kind of what we've been going on. I've had garbage luck. Levi and his wife and his father have not, though. So there will be some tips of some actual stuff that works. So I'll just go first since I took Kalen out. We'll start off with youth season, everything like this. It was a better season this year as far as weather-wise, but it was not the early turkey spring weather that we were hoping for. Last year, Levi and I took Kalen out, and it was just straight garbage. It was almost like the perfect mid to late November weather. Cold mornings, snow coming down. I mean, it was absolute junk. So this year when Kalen and I went, we found birds. I mean, we absolutely found birds. They did not want to cooperate. I believe they kind of had their routes they were already going and everything. And then one morning though, Kaylin and I went, after we got our hex system suits, actually, we went through and, before I get into this, I'll flat out say it right off the bat. When I first heard about hex and things like this, I did my little research into them and stuff. And I kind of thought, I guess gimmick would be the best kind of word, kind of one of those, I don't know, because it just kind of seems too good to be true. But dude, I'm telling you, me and Kaylin went that one time, and she's 15 and she can't sit still. And we had 13 hens fly out this roost from right down the lane where we were walking, and they gave zero shits that we were down there.
Yeah.
And we actually had two come walking up to us and right in the decoys. I mean, if one was a tom, I could have stabbed them with a stick. I mean, they came right to us. It was incredible. So we're going to be talking a little bit about hex and stuff. You're going to hear us talk about how great they are. That's 100%. If you don't know what this is, you need to go check them out. We got stuff on our Facebook pages and stuff with them that you can go through and follow them. But it's Hex, HECS. They have stuff on YouTube. go through and watch their videos, I mean, they're absolutely unbelievable because they are getting away with movement that you should just absolutely not be able to get away with in the turkey woods.
Yeah, watching some of their footage, I mean, and some of the things that we pulled off here, first, second season, wearing the suits, as a normal turkey hunter, you would just cringe.
Yeah.
That movement or trying to get away with the things that we've done. So, yeah, go back and listen to our previous episode with Mike, and you'll get a little more insight that maybe you might not get on the website or their social media or from their videos. He's going to go more in depth on some of the things. But it'll definitely make a believer out of you.
It truly does. And to motivate you a little bit more, if you listen towards the end there, we got a little promo code for you, little discount code. So make sure you go listen to that. So we're helping you out, getting you this stuff a tiny bit cheaper. And he also goes through and gives discounts for first responders, military, and stuff like that. So you can get a little discount that way. But we're also pointing you in a direction with the same as our other, sponsors, things like that. Dude, we are sending you down a way to a damn good product.
Exactly.
I mean, it is.
It's like, we're not going to push something on you that we don't believe in or use ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And once we get on the Levi side here, and he'll start talking, and it's like he was saying, he got away with some stuff, and I got away with some stuff, and Kaylin got away with some stuff that we just shouldn't have been able to do. So, but getting back into it, like I said, these hens came down. I mean, they came literally right to us. I mean, you could hear them. I don't even know what it's light clucking, light purring. I don't know what the actual term is here, but you could just hear them just like a squeak. I mean, just clear as day. That's how close they were to us. And then our decoys weren't moving for them, and they just wandered away. And then I also had, I think it was two or three does came from another direction and just walked right up 30 yards from us. I mean, just did not care at all. So it was, definitely need to go check Hex out. So then after that, we went into first season, and then that was the awesome morning me and you went and sat and finally got one done together.
That was a pretty crazy morning. I've never shot one that early first season.
Dude, it was. I know we've talked about this over and over, but I still can't get over how. I mean, we were in 100% legal shooting light, 100%.
Yeah, we were 2 minutes into legal light.
But it was still so dark. I mean, we were in the timber, couldn't see. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I bet you were 25 feet away from me, maybe that far, 20 feet. And your dad was sitting in between us, and I saw your dad clear as day. But like, I knew it was go time when I just saw the shadow, the dark outline of you lift your gun up, and my first thought was, oh shit, it's about to happen, because I could just see like a fat blob in that timber.
Yeah, I mean that was a textbook hunt that morning.
Oh, absolutely. And it goes through and gives props to ECW calls. We chirped at them or clucked at them, whatever. I don't know the right terminology. We used our tools to, got his attention. And then all of a sudden you went through and, man, we need to come up with some type of, instead of calling them Levi's calls, we need to call them something. I don't know.
The Hunted Podcast calls.
Okay, and there we go. Easy enough. The Hunted Podcast calls. Levi was using those. And, I mean, with the mixture of those two, dude, that bird.
Yeah, we started him off with a little light purring, little light tree yelping on the ECWs, and then finished him off. I did a fly down cackle on the mouse call and did a little yelping, soft yelping, and a little bit of cutting, and made it sound like it was an excited hen down on the ground. And dude, he just couldn't take it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I know I said we were going to talk about Hex a lot. This just popped in my brain. Your old man's been using Hex for, you said what, about 3-4 years?
3-4 years, yeah.
Yeah, and he had his on, and we had ours on.
Yep.
And I mean, dude, we were what, 40 yards away, 50 yards away from that bird, maybe?
Probably. I mean, we were in tight.
We were very, very close.
And yeah, when he pitched down, it was on right then. I mean, if it wouldn't have been for the brush and being so dark, I could have probably killed him where he pitched down at.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then I think it's one of those things with your dad using his Hex, us using our Hex, because I mean, dude, we were not covered up.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I think we had, I think you were leaning against a tree. Your dad had a tree against him. And I know I didn't have a tree against me because I was trying to videotape or video, but I couldn't do it because it was so dark. And if I was going to sit by a tree, there was no way that I was going to be able to get any of it. So I know I was sticking out like a sore Peter.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. I mean, he's not joking. It was what, 6:03?
6:03. I think
yeah.
legal light that morning was 6:01.
6:01. Yep. And he flew down. It was picture perfect. He came in all ready to go, and Levi gave him a permanent headache. And then we went to third season, which was my season.
Second season.
Second season, yeah. Third season just started. Yeah, exactly. So then we went into second season, and I go to the same area where me and Kaylin was at. I mean, I had birds all around me and everything, but as the old saying goes, they zigged and I zagged, and things didn't quite work out. But oddly enough, as I was leaving, heading back to my car, I hear two toms just hammering, and they haven't did that when I went earlier or anything with Kaylin, and went away, and they were probably like 8 yards away from me, but they needed to go about another 10 to 15 to cross the fence line properly. And then after that, I didn't shoot on the neighbor's side. The turkeys, they just didn't come over and stuff. They turn around and head back into the timber. And then as luck goes, I mean, it's good for me now, but at the time it didn't help me. I talked to the property owner, and he goes, well, why didn't you shoot him? And I told him, you gave me property or permission to hunt in this corner part of your property. I'm not going to, jump the fence and do this and that. And he just looked, oh, hell, you should have shot that son of a bitch. It's absolutely fine and everything. And talked to his boy who hunts out there, and said the exact same thing. So AJ's turkey property pretty much just doubled. And it's awesome because that's where they're at. So went in there and got lost the first morning that I went in there because, like I said, I haven't been in there before. And then the second time I went, they flew down instead of flying up, and it just didn't work out well for me at all. But when did your dad kill his? Was it first season?
Yeah, he killed one first season.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. So Levi's old man killed one first season over Knox County.
Knox County, yeah. Yep, he went over there, and 2 years in a row, sitting behind the strutter decoy over there at my uncle's, 5 feet, killing him in self-defense, wearing the hex.
Dude, I'm telling you, that hex stuff there's got to be something to it. I'm a firm believer in that stuff now. And then Katie was second season also?
Second season, yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys just went out, and this is the story that I've been kind of waiting to hear about. I mean, we'll give a more in-depth kind of thing later, but just a quick, what do they call them on the side of the book? The cliff notes?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, go ahead and give us the cliff notes for what she did.
Well, we had to go to work, and it was getting late. So I told her, I'm like, we got to do something. I'm like, we're either going to kill them or we're going to bust them. And they'd been gobbling. They kind of come back to, the roost trees where they were at, and was just kind of hanging around up there. And so we just kind of took it to them, got up by where they were gobbling, kind of climbed this hill overlooking the little bowl where they were at. And I told her, I said, you get slid up there by this big old dead log, and you got an opening to look down in there. And we got slid up in there. We had our hex on. We literally slid within 40 yards of these birds, which, I mean, that doesn't happen.
Like as they're coming towards you? Or like
they were just hanging out down in there. Yeah. And we were able to get in gun range on them right there. I mean, we weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, it was just having our hex on and just being aggressive. And, she could see them as soon as she slid up in there. So if she can see them, they can see us.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hung back just a couple yards and yelped at them a couple times. They gobbled right back, and she kind of looked back at me. So she's moving still, looking back at me, telling me they're coming. And, 20 yards, boom, dead. Game over.
Then it was, celebration. Oh shit, we got to go to work.
Yeah,
life kicks in.
It's like, let's get a tag on this thing and get out of here.
Oh shoot. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Kind of the halfway point. You still got 1 or 2 tags left?
Yeah, I got a tag left. Katie's got she's got 2 tags left.
Okay.
And Dad's got a tag left. So.
Geez, and Danielle's got one. And then I'm going to go see if I can't snag one for 5th season, just because I should have been smart and got 2 or 3 earlier, but I didn't. So we
burn some more powder.
Exactly. So we got, between us, we got 4 or 5 more tags left to go.
Yeah.
Oh man, somebody's got to get another one, right? But it needs to be on the Cox side of the family. I'm tired of the Mason side over there being the ones that are ones putting them all down.
If the weather would ever qualify, I mean, we had a hell of a nice weather, wise for first season.
Oh, absolutely.
And then first day of second season was good, and then after that, the weather's pretty much been trash.
Yeah,
it's been cold and windy, and we've had rain and snow and severe storms.
Yeah, it sleeted yesterday, and I want to say the day before it snowed. We've had 2 days of frost warnings. I mean, you wake up in the morning, it's 25 degrees.
Wind blowing, it makes it tough.
Oh, it's, yeah.
I mean, you can kill birds, but everything's got to go right.
So I'm really hoping, because Danielle doesn't do cold. So I'm really hoping for her season we get out there, if we can even just get a good 50-degree day in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be good and happy with all that. So... But yeah, so like I said, that's kind of our halfway point. Everything is going on. Things are going, I would say, good. I mean, we fought hard last year too. I think we're ahead though in birds, pretty much, aren't we?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, last year was a struggle.
Yeah,
I think we only killed maybe 3 between all of us.
And I mean, it was hard.
Yeah.
I know that me and you went those couple times, and it just, I mean, nothing. We had that. I think we went that one time. We had a bird that was interested, and then he just turned off. Went away. And I remember you went out a few times by yourself, and it just hard hunting. And our buddies that we were talking to were saying, the exact same thing, and kind of this, I guess the same thing as what we've been going on now is unless you have, I haven't talked to anybody that's been like, oh dude, it's how it's supposed to be. I'm going out and doing this. They're coming on a string. We're putting a hammer on them.
Yeah. I mean, it was like that first season, it seemed like. I mean, we hunted 3 days between the 3 of us on our side and killed 3 birds, and first season, the first day of second season. But after that, they kind of started shutting down again. I mean, I did start seeing a little more activity, last week, road tripping around and, checking fields and stuff. So things are definitely better than last year for sure.
Right. Still not great. But I mean, you said the other day you saw some actual strutters though, right?
Oh, yeah, I left the house and I ended up seeing 5 or 6 strutters just on my way to work.
Yeah, me and Danielle even went out today to go fly the drone and take pictures of the prescribed burn that I did. And we drove around the whole country block, and I mean, we saw one, and I mean, and it was much closer to Monmouth than it was to where we were at, and he was just hanging out and didn't give a shit about nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully the weather goes through and gets better with this and that. So what else do we want to talk about? Anything popped in your head?
I mean, weather's getting nicer. We're getting into some mushrooming and start thinking about some spring food plots.
Absolutely. I'm excited for the spring food plot thing going on because like I just said, I did a prescribed burn out there, which that stuff, it needed it bad. Which I guess, let me ask you this question. So I know they always say burn it off, it makes it better, it helps and all this good stuff. But when me and Danielle went today, dude, I'm literally seeing mud. Just straight dirt. I mean, there's green growing and there's, the saplings that made it through and stuff. But I mean, a whole bunch of it is still mud, straight dirt. Now, I was wondering if it had something to do with there was so much undergrowth underneath there that it wouldn't grow. And I burned off all that undergrowth. And now it's just.
Did you have a lot of ashes of that undergrowth sitting on top still?
After I first did it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to take away from it a little bit at the beginning. Just, and the rain that we've had helps, get rid of that little bit of residue and
all
stuff.
Gone now.
So now, everything's kind of laying a little more dormant now, with as cold as it's been and the snow and the sleet that we've had. So once things start to warm up, you're going to see the green up.
So
happen.
hopefully, fingers crossed, the first couple 75, 80-degree days.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, we get a little more moisture on it, get some warm rain on it, get some lightning, get that nitrogen and everything back in the ground in those spots, and some warm weather. It'll green.
Good, because I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit worried because I was like, man, I went through and I did, something I told you we were going to do, and you're like, oh, it's going to help, it's going to help. Then I'm like, man, with my luck, I just went through and burned this off, and now I just turned this shit into a wasteland. That was absolutely my first thought.
We just haven't had the right weather.
I gotcha. Good. So I'm all excited for that because, like you said, it's spring plots are about to get out there and start hammering on those, and then, dude, and then it's going to be hunting season. I mean, it's or deer season.
Yeah,
it's
going to sneak up on us fast.
Yeah. So I know you said something. You said talking about with the better weather than the mushrooms and stuff. Have you been out to go find?
I haven't looked yet.
I follow that mushroom hunters thing, state of Illinois, and I think there's only like 2 mushrooms in the state of Illinois. But I did see 2 of my buddies that are pretty big mushroom hunters. They went out and found some smaller morels and some smaller yellows. So dude, I think if we get a couple warmer days, I think they're about to blow up.
Yeah, we get the moisture, keep getting it, and get some warm days. I mean, it'll happen. I've seen a few reports out of Knox County and definitely Fulton County. I think I've heard of a couple guys finding a handful here in Warren, and then Southern Henderson's been pretty good. So,
yeah, we just need a spring, man. Like to me, this is a crappy fall. Like this is not spring. Dude, the red-winged blackbirds are out. Dude, I've heard some people say some orioles are out. Dude, I mean, it's the animals are here and moving. It's just Mother Nature just wants to be a bitch right now and not cooperate with us.
Yeah.
But it'll happen. I'm not too worried about it. We just got to keep on keeping on as we always do.
Yep.
So with I guess jump back on the turkey side. So I know me and you talked about this the other day. So with it being, oh my God, right? So we're in third season? Yes, We're in third season now. So is there any, and the bird's been tight-lipped, is there any kind of way maybe people should be kind of looking to hunt some of these birds a little bit more? Because I know that when I went the other day, dude, I mean, they're right on the roost. Dude, I'm giving a couple, like you were saying, some light yelps and stuff like this, dude. I mean, and they're hammering back. They're hammering back. But they just seem to not want to make it my way. So do you think maybe now it's time to be a little bit more aggressive or just sit back, see where they're going and try to cut them off?
Yeah, I mean, every farm's going to be different right now.
Right.
Some farms, with the weather, they haven't really split up like some of the other farms. So yeah, just kind of scout more than you hunt is what I like to do when things are like this, and find that hot bird.
Which it's funny you said that they're still like together, because that's how it is on my property. Is they most definitely still are together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in one tree I looked and I saw 10 of them. And I bet 4 of them were hens. Yeah,
it seems like your birds are more homebodies. They like to stick together, which, a lot of farms, a lot of my farms, I mean, I've got a few of them that they're still kind of sticking together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like this past week they've really started. I don't know if, we got a lot of farming going on down in our area right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's splitting them up a little bit, between that. Some of the hens are getting bred finally. So they're not quite as henned up as they were. They're actively seeking, the next hen. So, things are happening and changing.
Gotcha.
You just, like I said, try to find that one hot bird. If you just find a loner.
Right. I remember you saying that last year, and that's definitely how I killed my bird last year, is that one.
Yep. That
one loner. So, because I'm trying to think in my brain, which is where you usually do your thinking. Because like I said, Danielle don't do the cold. like me and you, or like when we had our podcast with the wives and stuff, dude. I mean, if she could have it to be, I'd had a cement path for her to get in there, have it heated and everything. Like that's her style hunting. She wants that 110%. But now that I have permission to get into that property to where they are 100% roosting 98% of the time, I'm really wondering if I want to have her go that way. Because I mean, we're going through it's not terrible by any means, but it's going to be bad for her just because there is some thorn bushes and stuff. So I'm wondering if I almost want to go up on the north side where we went up on that hills, or you know where I'm talking, north side of where we had them roosting in that one bottom.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if I want to take her up there, or if I just want to play it kind of easy peasy street and go all the way down and go through that gate and head all the way to the west.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet, but it seems like even if they're if they're roosted up out in the field or something, or like I told you that I heard that gunshot or that shotgun shot, they came on the west side of that west fence line. I'm wondering if I should try to go for that. I'm trying to think of how to get her in the right spot without dragging her absolutely through all the timber and making her want to slit my throat when I go to sleep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just, try to make it as easy as possible on her. And, you kind of have a general idea where they're going. And, hopefully by then, they're kind of splitting up a little bit and kind of breaking away from some of the hens. And, you can find one that's lonely and lovesick and wanting to play the game. Do you think, because you got to remember she's got little legs too, should we try to be more aggressive? If it was me and I heard something, or me and you, dude, we're shitting and getting, like, I know we're beelining, we're heading somewhere, we're trying to cut them off. Yeah. With her, do you think we should try to do that, or do you think we should just try to almost do the whole, like, every 10, 15 minutes give out something and try to get something to come to us? I mean, either one works. I mean, it just all depends on, if you want to get aggressive or not. I mean, it definitely works sitting there, mid to late morning, if you got the time, sit there. I mean, you never know when, you might catch a bird slipping in from somewhere else, or one of those birds breaks off, and you never know. You're not giving me the answer that I want. I want the answer of, you need to do this because then this is going to happen, and then she's going to kill her bird, and then I'm going to look I would say, amazing. Here's what I would do. I would get in tight on that roost. I would take the easiest path to get in tight on that roost. Yep. And get set up within 75 to 100 yards of them, kind of in the path of where they're going to fly down at. Okay. And just kind of let them dictate how much calling you're going to do. I would maybe, the way it's been going this year, I would maybe give them a few soft purrs and a little bit of soft tree yelping, and then just kind of shut up and let curiosity kill the cat. And that's what I tried to do these last couple times. But I think that my birds are pretty, at least at this point in time, are pretty henned up. Yeah. Because like I said, dude, I'd go in there, soft purr, some, little clucks here and there. And I mean, they're interested 1,000%. They're interested. And then, because one of the days, this bitch was up in a tree and she was going absolutely insane. I mean, could not stop, would not stop. Like, I almost wanted to grab a rock and throw it at her. Mock her. Oh, really? What she does, you do. Piss her off. So, like, to that extent, though, because, like, I know that we talked about this before, and you said, like, answer back. Yeah. And every time she would, I would answer back. But, I mean, she was, like, screaming. Oh, yeah. Scream right back at her. Oh, man. Maybe that's what I should have did, and then we could have been having a different conversation. If you can't beat them, join them. I guess so. So, okay. That's good to know. So, I think we'll go through and we'll sneak all the way in that bottom, because there's a good four-wheeler path that we can get all in there. And, okay. I think we got that all figured out and planned out for that. So, I guess what would be your strategies going, kind of, things are changing a little bit? Because, I mean, your bird, I know your bird came to you pretty quick, and you had to work for Katie's bird. So do you got a game plan for
your next season coming up, or
just kind of roll the dice, see what we can find, roosting, and just keep the same game plan. I mean, I try to keep the same game plan every year. Find a bird that I think wants to play and go set up on him first thing. If I can't kill him first thing, take the game to him.
So, I know we talk about this off doing these podcasts too. So it really does sound like you have pretty much, we're in close as we can. If this don't work, we're moving.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. It sounds like you say that for first to fifth season.
Yeah.
Like that's your,
Yeah. If I got to get aggressive, I'm going.
that's your game plan through.
If I know where he's going, a lot of times, especially if they're pretty fired up and they're gobbling, and you can tell they're going away from you and you know where they're going, I'm immediately getting up and getting over there and cutting them off.
Gotcha. Which, it makes sense, but like with me still being very, very new to taking turkey hunting very seriously, I'm looking for so many, just like you need to do A, and A is going to get you what you need. And then once second season come, you need to do B. Like,
you can take the book and throw it out the window. It's all just going to come with experience. I'm still learning.
Right.
I still learn things every day when I'm out there turkey hunting. I've been doing it,
25
plus years.
I completely understand that.
It's all just kind of, trying to read their mind, and reading their body language and everything. And it just comes with time.
So going into the body language thing. So what are some keys or some tips or tricks or whatever you want to call it that you're looking for, like body language wise, to be able to say either, hey, we need to try to cut them off this way, or dude, we're screwed. They're not coming our way. Dude, they got themselves 2 girlfriends. Like, we could sit out here all day long and yell at them nonstop, and they're not coming this way. Like, what are you looking for?
If I know they got hens with them, I'm going to sit there and be patient, or I'm going to try to, if I kind of know where they're going, I'm going to, maybe try to slide around and get as close as I can and get them cut off.
Okay.
But it makes it a little more harder having, more eyeballs. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. You get aggressive, might not work, or you sit still and it might work. But, as long as they're strutting, they're content, stuff like that. Everybody knows the body language of a hot bird.
Right.
He's gobbling his head off. He's coming. Just don't overcall. If he's coming, let him come.
So just like rattling a buck or grunting a buck, you see one, he gets your attention, ears perk up, coming your way.
Yep.
You just shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like only call back to him if you absolutely have to. If he's committed, and you can tell. When that bird is committed, you can tell. And just get your gun ready.
Okay, that's awesome. Because the reason that I'm also asking this too is because now I'm almost worried, because I felt that I got aggressive, but I'm almost wondering if I got almost too aggressive. So now I'm just really hoping that I didn't booger stuff up for Danielle come 4th season.
I doubt it. Those birds were pretty henned up, it seemed like then. By 4th season, there ought to be a bird or two that's freed up. And once they get freed up and they're looking for love, their memory gets pretty short.
Which is what men normally get at.
Exactly.
So, okay, good. Well, that makes me feel better, because I know I want to kill a bird so bad, but dude, she has been hunting with me for, oh, good Lord, years on top of years on top of years, and I have not gotten her a deer, and I have not got her a turkey. I need her to kill something.
Yeah.
And that's going to be just a great day.
When they're love struck and wanting to work and play the game, you about can't do anything wrong. We've had some hunts in the past where we've gone into a place and, there might be 2 or 3 birds gobbling in there, and they're all love sick. And, only one of us has a tag or whatever, or only one of the birds commits. You shoot him, you go back out, you roost the next night. The other 2 are in there still gobbling. You can be like, what the heck? We're going to roll the dice. We're going to go back in there in the morning. Go back there in the morning. They want to play the game again.
Nice.
Next tag's filled. So
with there being the 5 seasons, and I know you can't predict the weather, and you can't predict this, and you can't predict that, for, I guess, your better opportunity to see a bird kind of break off and more, looking for a girlfriend, all that stuff, would you rather try to look for a later season, like a third, fourth, or maybe a fifth? Or do you not want to look for, because this is where I'm going back with it, back and forth in my brain is, yes, it seems like the weather's getting better. They're coming off hens later in the season. But at the same time, it's in my brain of, man, what they've been hearing gunshots and they've been hearing, being shot at and everything else throughout the season.
Mushroomers walking around and kicking them up and farming going on. Yeah, I mean, I used to kind of worry about that a little bit, but anymore, I mean, I've killed them first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and I've killed them with some pretty good pressure on them, even in fifth season. I've had a lot of birds get bumped around by mushroomers, and then, corn planters run until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, right around where they're roosting or where they're wanting to go to strut the next morning, and didn't seem to really phase them much. Just, like I said, try to find a bird that wants to work.
I think I'm just overthinking this way too much because, like I said, I'm so focused on not screwing up that I'm afraid that I'm screwing up. You know?
Yeah. The only way you're, I can try to, tell you as much as I can from my, knowledge and experience, and same with anybody else. But a lot of it just comes down to trial and error.
Right. Which, like I said, I'm just so worried that, not so much for me, but for Danielle, that I'm going to mess it up for her and then not give her a good experience, and then go back and me and you were going to talk and be like, ooh, yeah, you shouldn't have did that. Like, you should have tried this and this instead.
No, I get it. I mean, I've been there with Katie, trying to ensure that she has a good hunt, and, it keeps her interested in everything. And, she's had a couple bad years,
right,
of turkey hunting. So, we all have. It's just, I think we put a little more pressure on ourselves trying to make it, an enjoyable experience for them. And honestly, I think the best thing we need to do is not overthink it and just go have fun.
Well, I mean, I think you're exactly right. 'Cause like I said, I think I'm absolutely I'm in my head too much. 'Cause I know that the last morning that I went, I mean, dude, I snuck in like 40 minutes early. 'Cause I was like, I'm going to make it to where they're going to have zero idea, that I'm in here. It's good and dark. They're not going to be able to even know that I'm in there. And then they go the other way, they fly down the other way, and I'm like, well, I did something wrong. So then now I'm like, should I have went and, went the long way and came in? It just...
That's just a turkey for you. I mean, I've had so many times where they'll do the same thing 3 or 4 days in a row, and you're like, all right, I got them pegged. And then the next day you're like, all right, it's done deal. And then they change it up.
Yeah, that's exactly how, I think, matter of fact, I even messaged you and said, psh, dude, I got them. Like, I got it figured out. Dude, I found where they're roosting. I know they've always been going this way, because even when I'm not, in the timber, like, I can hear them. I know where they're going. Dude, they're going to walk right to me. I'm going to just grab him by the neck and kill him. Like, I mean, I was very, very confident. Next morning, went out, south side of the field, in the cornfield.
Yeah.
And just completely rained on my parade.
Yeah. That's a turkey for you.
I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I want to be able to go out there, give a couple cacaws or gobbles, whatever. They fly down, they stop, they let me aim, boom, party over. Yeah. This making me work stuff is not fun for my hobby.
It definitely makes you appreciate the easy ones.
Yeah, like the mason birds.
Yes.
I need me some mason birds.
And they ain't always that easy.
Dude, it's still going back to, I do 100%. I wish that I'm super happy, super stoked that you killed one that early, just because that was awesome. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm a little greedy that, dude, I was set up, had my camera ready to go. Dude, I wish that sucker would have just gave us 5 more minutes.
Yeah, because, I mean, we were in that same exact spot last year when Dad shot a bird, and they didn't fly down till like 6:40, and that was first season last year too.
Wow.
And so I was kind of expecting the same thing. I mean, he was literally roosted right where they were last year. I mean, and we were set up within 15 yards of where we were set up.
When you said in the same spot, is that a common thing for like turkeys? So like if you find like one turkey roost, like that's pretty sure like next year it's going to in that tree or pretty
likely,
close.
But you'll see times where, I mean, they move around constantly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they're constantly changing roost sites throughout the season, you know, depending on pressure and hens and everything else. But yeah, general rule and thumb, I mean, they pretty much, you can bank on, you know, definitely checking those roost sites because they're going to be there next year.
Because now, from last year to this year, because I think I've pretty much got them pinned to the 2 main trees that they're hammering in. So that's why it made me think of that. So, completely lost my train of thought. We were talking about up in that tree and everything like that. Oh yeah, but no, I wish it gave just, like I say, 5 more minutes of this and that. I was sitting right there, dude. It was me, you, and your dad. It was our first one together. You know, me and you last year went, I don't know how many times, a handful of times, deer season and this and that. We can't put out content if these bastards want to fly down when it's dark. I can't get out there with the spotlight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still can't believe it.
No, it was awesome. It was, and I think to me it was like I said, our first bird together, and then it was with your mouth call.
Yeah.
I mean, that you went through and made this and that. And again, I don't know enough about nothing, but I know that you've gotten very good feedback from, turkey hunters. I mean, like, they know their shit.
Yeah.
And they're telling you, hey man, you're onto something here.
Yeah. I mean, it was so rewarding, and you know, everything just coming full circle. I mean, I've wanted to make calls for a long time, and to go out and be the first one to kill one with one of my own calls, like, dude, I didn't even think about that. Meant so much.
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah, the guys didn't. Yes. Oh, dude, that's even better. Yeah. I did not think about that till you just said that. Yeah, going out, your call. First bird killed with your call was you. Oh, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, that one. I mean, and you being there and Dad being there. I mean, that was just that one's going to be right up in the top of the books.
Yeah,
you know, for one of the best ones I've had.
Absolutely, it was awesome. So, are you thinking about just going to keep shotgunning these, or are you going to try to take out the old wreck and see if you can't smash one?
I don't know. I think if I can find one that really wants to play the game, and I wouldn't mind breaking the bow out.
Dude, I thought about that too.
I ain't against it.
I thought about that too. I went out the one morning and I took my bow, and then I was like, man, if they're up in that timber, I'm going to try to go through and take my shotgun. I wish Illinois would do, I know there's other states that allow bow and gun and this and that, but I wish they would allow something like that just for like that type of experience, to be able to take your shotgun if you're going to go into the timber, get into some thick shit, want to run and gun, and get at them. But then if you get, like you were saying, get that one that wants to play, man, it's shooting with a gun is awesome, but dude, just that bow is something completely different.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've been out there and shot one at 10 yards. I'm like, damn, I wish I'd had my bow.
Yeah, exactly. I wish they would go, like I said, wish they would go through and pass something, let us go, let us get through and go and do all that stuff. Oh, speaking of which, so I think I told you this, but I finally got a hold of a DNR guy. He's never got a hold of me about his friend, but hopefully at some point we can get some DNR people on here. Maybe we can't figure out what we need to do to get
stir the pot a
little bit. Yeah. Say, hey, Congress people or whoever you are, some of your laws are really stupid. You need to allow us to do this and that. So I think that'd be fun.
And honestly, I don't want to stir the pot with them because I appreciate them and everything they do. And it's not them that make the laws. Yeah. It's the educated idiots in Chicago and Springfield. Right. So
hopefully they can at least point us in the right direction.
Yes.
So, but okay, yeah, just sidetrack, got the old brain rolling there. But so yeah, man, hopefully we can get a couple more in the book. It'd be great. we're definitely seeing birds. There's no doubt about that. We just not getting them to do what we want them to do. Hopefully the weather goes through, gets better. Matter of fact, I'm looking out the window right now. Sun's out shining right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully things keep getting better. But like I was saying, this is just kind of a recap real quick, halfway through with what we got going on.
Hopefully next time we're on here, we got 2, 3, 4 more birds to talk about.
That'd be great. And then we can go a little bit more in depth. What would be awesome would be if Danielle gets one, see if we can't get the 4 of us back together and we can
Tell some stories.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely. And they have some turkey nuggets.
There we go.
See? Make it a big day.
I like it.
You can bring the girls over. I'll throw them in the dog fence. We'll be just fine.
Perfect.
So I think we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you got anything else you want to add
I'm good.
onto this one. So, all right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening as always. Once again, if you've made it this far, man, you can make it through another one. Go check out our ones with Hex, man. Get you a little promo code on there. Get you going. I'm telling you, it is a product that you absolutely need to go through and check out. Watch their videos. It will make you a believer. And then when you go through, buy it, and you have your first encounter with it, you're going to go, shit, I wish I had this stuff years ago.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to cut this one off here. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.